almost the rest of the week, then you really got to pick and choose your battles when you're going to do that. And you might want to think about maybe you can have a little bit different strategy. Maybe you can have things that aren't such a negative impact. Maybe you can have some perfect keto stuff. Maybe you can have some treats and snacks that are still, still in line with your nutrition. I've shared with people many times the yogurt and slingshot protein thing that I mix up at night. I haven't done that in a while because it's World Carnivore Month and I wanted to buckle down and I got rid of dairy and stuff. But, whatever way you can make it through, a lot of days. That's what we're trying to do, is because we need consistency. And then if I think about, things that people enjoy, things that people like, Andrew likes photography. And so how hard is it for him to do a photo shoot? It's really like, he's not going to sit there and think, oh my God, this is going to be so hard. He's going to think, oh, I need to bring these batteries with me. And, okay, we're shooting this today, so I should bring this filter with me. I should bring this lens. And maybe it'd be cool if we had a different camera too. That would be kind of sick, because he's not even thinking about not doing it at all. That's not even a question. You love jujitsu. So, I mean, I'm sure you have days where you're like, holy, I got my ass kicked yesterday. I'm sure you've had those days where you had to kind of break through and get over the hump, but you enjoyed it enough to do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So then how do we do that with nutrition? How do we find for it to be enjoyable enough? And I think that's where we get the difference of opinion, because some people are like, well, I feel like I really love Jordan Syatt loves cereal.
Yeah.
It's like, I really love cereal. And Jordan Syatt doesn't have a goal to be like shredded. I think his main goal is just to help people gain control over their nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
And he has a plan, and he has a way that he does it, and it's very effective, and he's helping thousands of people. And I think that, if we're trying to break all this down into kind of its smaller parts, that's really all we're trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
And you just going to have to, you hear it time and time and time and time and time again. And I know from experience that counting calories, eating a higher carb diet, eating a lower fat diet, and also doing a keto diet and eating enormous amounts of fat every single day. And I also know that doing a carnivore style diet, I know that all three of those things have worked for me when I've been able to follow them closely.
Yes.
The Bodybuilding Show, the reason I was able to follow that and the reason why I didn't go haywire on that while eating carbohydrates is because there's a couple reasons. It was only like 8 or 9 week prep. It's really not that long. I had help from one of the greatest bodybuilding coaches, one of the greatest bodybuilding minds of all time. And I knew that he was going to lead me in the right direction. So I had total faith in the program that I was going to follow. And I was like, you know what? Just shut up and just fucking listen to him. It was almost like a military style thing where it's like, just goddamn do what you're told. This guy knows the direction that you need to go in. So there's absolutely no reason to question it. There's no reason to try to do anything else. And so I followed it to a T. I also knew that every once in a while, because he knows my personality, he knows me, that Hani Rambod would throw me an underhand pitch every once in a while to make it a little easier. He'd say, all right, dude, like, you've been going hard for like 20 days straight. You've been smashing the cardio. You've been under eating. You've been eating the amount of protein you need every day. You've been hitting your 6 meals. Go enjoy a dinner with your wife, have a drink or two, be a little cautious, but throw in a cheat meal there, and I knew that would, but all those things have worked as long as I was able to follow them.
Yeah, no, that makes so much sense. And like we said, everything here is going to be able to work pretty damn well. One thing I did want to mention is, when we were talking about the ice cream and stuff, and the next day
we're going to go.
Huh?
We're gonna go.
yeah.
We're gonna get some ice cream.
Baskin Robbins.
But when we were talking about like bars from Perfect Keto, or like one of the things that I used to like to do was like the Keto Pro slingshot protein, along with some
heavy cream.
Some heavy cream. Like that would be something that would really it would really help with my sweet tooth. Like I do 2 scoops of slingshot Keto Pro and that. But the thing is, or even the Legendary Foods Pop-Tart we just had, fucking amazing. But this is the thing, because a lot of people tell you and tell me, and Mark, you've probably heard this, oh, there's no way that those bars could be good as ice cream or Snickers bars. And the fact is that they're not. But this is the thing, like if if I have Cold Stone, the next day, the Perfect Keto bar, it won't hit as well as that Cold Stone will. But a few days of just having that, I'm like, oh fuck, this is actually really freaking good. So like the main reason we're having all of these things is to stop us from having that crap that we're addicted to. And if we can do it for a good amount of time, it's going to be good to us. That's why we're all saying this bar is really fucking good. It's because our idea of good isn't warped anymore. It's not warped into this highly addictive substance that we were addicted to. And now we're not, because we have this substance that's really fucking good, but it's not nearly as addictive or bad as that.
That's so well said, dude. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, and then like the one thing I always point to is the MCT oil powders for coffee. Like that's something that anybody right now, I mean, of course, if you do have ice cream and then you try to have coffee, no matter what you put in, it's going to taste like crap.
Yeah.
But that, like the vanilla MCT oil powder, like that stuff in coffee right now, you don't have to be keto adapted. You don't have to abstain from sugar for like 10 years for it to be awesome. That is good right now.
Yeah.
And I don't care who you are. You can't sit there and lie to me and be like, no, I have to have my coffee with my half and half. And like, no, try it with this. I promise you, it is that damn good. So like, yeah, I think, but what you said, dude, that was freaking epic. Yeah.
I think we can desensitize ourselves to just about anything. You know, I went to a car show called Nsima this year, and at Nsima it was like this car was 500K, this car was 700K, this car was 1.2, this car was 1.5 million. Like it was absolutely insane. After walking through there for 10 minutes, just 10 minutes of walking through there, you're like, oh yeah, it's another, check out this one. Like you're just like, you can't even decipher the difference between them, and then your impression of how expensive certain style of cars is completely changed forever. And when I look at different cars and see different cars, like that's not shit compared to what I saw at this car show. And you can do the same thing with your brain in terms of your work ethic. You can do the same thing with your palate, which is huge. Our palates are so fucked, because of all the different foods that we have. There's so many different ingredients in one thing. I mean, look at the ingredient list on a thing of like Doritos, or the amount of engineering and the amount of science and the amount of millions of dollars that have gone into making everything picture perfect with the McDonald's cheeseburger. I mean, it's a certain amount of onions on there. There's a certain amount of ketchup on there. There's a certain amount of mustard on there. There's a certain amount of cheese on there. I mean, they have a fucking formula down.